Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
Coming up on this episode of DL Weekly, a path has reopened to Batuu. 2 major attractions will be closing soon. An update to Peter Pan is coming.
Halloween is moving in early. Updates to the Coco show. A Porto's update too. We talk about our final day of D23 plus the Legends ceremony and more. DL Weekly starts now.
Welcome to Toad Hall. To ensure a safe and glorious drive in your motor car, remain firmly seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. Watch your children, and do try to drive more carefully than James and Vern. Ta-ta!
Hello and welcome to this episode of DL Weekly for the week of August 21st, 2024. I'm Teg Bushman.
And I'm Teresa Urban. We would like to thank everyone who supports the show. This week, we would like to give a special shout out to Shauna M. for becoming a weekly tier, as well as Scott C., Annie D., and Shoshana R. for your continued support. If you would like to help support the show and get ad-free versions of each episode, plus all sorts of perks and bonus content, head on over to dlweekly.net/support to become an official weekly tier.
Now let's get to the news.
Extra, extra, read all about it. DL Weekly reports from intrepid correspondents Tag and Teresa. You heard it here first, ladies and gents. Breaking news!
Well, a main walkway has reopened in Disneyland. The path from Haunted Mansion to Galaxy's Edge has reopened to guests. This also allows the Hungry Bear restrooms to be open again. The path goes through what is now known as Bayou Country, formerly Critter Country. Davy Crockett's Explorer canoes have also reopened with this, which is very exciting.
Yay, canoes! This is really good news because the parks, when we were there last week, just felt weird. Like, they felt a little cramped because there's a lot of stuff closed right now. So even though it's probably the same level of people that are there, there's just not as many attractions for them to like go into. So there's more people out in the walkway. Mm-hmm. And with this closed, you had fewer choices of walkways too. So I know it just felt weird having that be a dead end, especially with the Haunted Mansion Holiday being reopened as virtual queue only. So I'm glad to see that they're able to get this pathway open once again.
What was interesting too was I felt like on the Galaxy's Edge side of things, they signed this really well.
Yeah.
And I feel like on the side leading up to Haunted Mansion, they didn't sign it as well.
Funny story.
Okay.
We actually sat over in the Harbor Galley area to record some of our content that you'll be hearing for this week's discussion topic. And we actually, I think, we got a push notification. I think because of where we were and for how long we were over there, we got a push notification alerting us that that pathway was closed and we were not able to go through. So I kind of felt bad because I'm thinking, what poor other guest is possibly that Disney thinks is possibly over here for like 45 minutes to an hour trying to figure out how to get on the other side of the construction wall that they finally sent a push notification through. So maybe it had nothing to do and it was purely coincidence that we were sitting at the near where all the construction walls were up and you weren't able to get through and that it was a dead end. Could have been pure coincidence, or maybe it was a, hey, you're not going to get through there information from Disney, but yeah.
At least they were trying to let people know.
Exactly. Well, with the Haunted Mansion welcoming guests again, 2 more attractions will be going down soon for refurbishment. It's a Small World will close on September 16th to install the holiday overlay and update lighting and general show maintenance. It will reopen on November 15th for the holidays. Also on September 16th, the Jungle Cruise will be closing for an expected refurbishment and rebuilding the area around the Tiger. No reopening date for the Jungle Cruise has been announced at this time.
And what's interesting, I didn't put it in the story, but I should have. The It's a Small World will be going down again, of course, after the holidays to enhance the classic attraction show lighting and effects. So even like more updates. Apparently, they've got a lot of work to do.
I think it's cool that they decided to split the refurb into 2 spots and use the time that it's normally going down and then normally going down before and after the holidays for the holiday overlay. So I think it's neat that they're kind of double using that time to be able to do maintenance-y stuff as well as just the general flip. I know the internet is all abuzz, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up because there's no hints of this anywhere. But is it curious to you that the Jungle Cruise is also going down on September 16th when It's a Small World is going down for its holiday overlay?
I don't think we're getting Jingle Cruise back, if that's what you're alluding to.
There's the internet's abuzz thinking, could this possibly be?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be awesome.
I mean, it'd be cool, but I don't know. I'm concerned for Disneyland because when we were there, a bunch of stuff was down, and it was difficult at times to find stuff. We ended up riding Pirates a lot because it was the easy thing with the low white. We would have ridden Haunted Mansion Holiday more if it wasn't virtual queue once a day, but It's a Small World and Jungle Cruise, they eat people, and these both are going to be down. I mean, when we were there, the train was down, Space Mountain was down,
Monorail was down.
I mean, there was a lot of stuff down, and so you did feel it.
Like planned things that were down.
No, it wasn't
random
temporarily.
outages.
No, this was planned. But I feel like maybe I'm going to get my hopes up in a different way. This reminds me of 2004 when everybody was like, you know what, Matt we met came in as the president of the resort and was like, our 50th anniversary is coming up. We've kind of gotten lax from a lot of maintenance issues. And so they kind of went through and they did a ton of work in just a year. So I'm wondering if some of this is finally catching up maybe to post-COVID maintenance stuff. And they're like, okay, we finally have money. We finally, like, it's been enough time since COVID that, like, we're finally back financially healthy. We have crews and stuff that we can spare to get these things back to where they should be. Because when we were on the Jungle Cruise, not only is the tiger thing having a problem, but the explosion wasn't working going towards the thing. It seemed like some of the movement wasn't working on things. The piranhas haven't been working for quite a while.
Twice now we've gone through where the jungle camp where all the like gorillas have taken over, where the gorillas are all frozen. I mean, it's probably because they're so scared that we found them that they're not moving. But we've experienced it twice now, 2 different trips where that entire scene, it's like a breaker didn't go or something because no one's moving over there, which is strange because I would understand more so if maybe one animatronic was having an issue, but it's very odd to see an entire scene not doing what it should be doing. So let's hope. I like that take. Let's think positively. And this is Disneyland trying to like give everything as much TLC it deserves right before we celebrate the 70th anniversary.
Well, and I think so, because like the train is getting its tracks replaced. That's great. Haunted Mansion is getting a new reworked queue. That's great. You know, Indiana Jones is going to go down for a little bit. I don't know what they're going to do necessarily there.
That needs some
Jungle
TLC
Cruise is getting some TLC, it sounds like. Obviously, It's a Small World's getting like lighting and routine maintenance things. So a lot of this stuff seems like it's getting some good. Hopefully, while the monorail's down, they're also doing something with the monorail. Now, the main reason is because they're doing construction in downtown Disney. But hopefully that they're using that opportunity of like, oh, well, let's 2 birds with 1 stone, get this taken care of.
I like it.
Well, recently, this actually surprised me because I thought you were talking just about Walt Disney World when you put this story in, so I was glad to hear this. Recently, there was an update in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom to the Peter Pan attraction to update the Neverland Tribe scene. The updated scene now depicts brightly colored teepees and a harvest celebration with Tiger Lily and her grandmother performing a traditional fancy shawl butterfly dance. A similar change has been announced as coming to Disneyland's Peter Pan.
I am all for this. I am so happy that they updated the scene and that they didn't just remove the scene. But the thing that makes me extra excited about this scene has movement now. I love that Tiger Lily and her grandmother are doing a dance. Like it's more kinetic energy for this attraction. Because honestly, especially in like the Disneyland scene, it's very easy to not necessarily notice or just overlook the scene because it's my memory, maybe I'm
very
wrong.
Static.
My memory is that it's mainly static. Maybe there's a tiny bit of movement, but I think it's mainly static. There's tons of movement in this scene, and it really brings it to life. I love it. I'm glad that they updated this scene to be more respectful, and then also just I love the show element that it's got more movement and it's more eye-catching now. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm glad that it's coming to Disneyland.
Yeah, I think it looks great. I'm glad they did it. Hopefully it can be, installed without taking the attraction down for too long. They've been making updates to make things more culturally sensitive lately, and this is another change. We were wondering how long it was going to be for this. Now, the next thing that I'm worried about, because I actually enjoy it, is the ending of Toad. When you go to hell, I'm like, I wonder if that's going to be long for this world or not. But
I don't know.
I think that's part of what makes that attraction kind of fun. Like, where, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's not really insensitive to anybody. It's just like a little dark for people.
Yeah, it is a little dark. Well, we're just past mid-August, and some Halloween touches have appeared around the resort. Last week, a lot of Buena Vista Street and Cars Land decorations had been put in place for Halloween. By the start of this week, Pumpkin Mickey has been installed on Main Street, and Oogie Boogie has adorned the entrance to Disney California Adventure. Actually, Oogie Boogie was almost fully in place before we left the parks last week.
Yeah, I was very surprised seeing all the stuff that had come to California Adventure, because we were there on like Tuesday.
I know.
And Oogie Boogie was at the entrance, but that was it. And so the fact that they have so much decoration on Buena Vista Street and throughout the park and in Cars Land, I was like, man, this team is like flying through stuff.
It was a very quick turnaround. You mean like the Halloween trees already in place?
We were just talking about the Halloween tree.
I know.
When we were sitting
we
there.
just had lunch at Rancho, like, I don't know, days
Was it
before
Monday
they
or Tuesday?
transformed this.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how quick and how fast everything went. Because sometimes it feels like, you're right, that they kind of almost do it in sections. This almost felt like, boom,
Instant.
Halloween.
Yeah.
But I mean, it makes sense because Halloween time does officially start August 23rd. So this week, we're already there. Isn't that crazy? But
I think they redid the banners and stuff because these look
They
very
look so
vibrant
nice.
and not like sun washed or anything
Yeah.
like that. Cars Land is like a gargantuan effort in and of itself, and that looks like really well done. Already. I don't know. I'm very excited that they are doing this because remember, was it last year, a couple years ago? It seemed like they were taking their time, and like I think stuff even appeared like after the holiday season had like
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
So it's good that they kind of got on this time. It's just starting earlier and earlier though.
It
but
is.
in previous years, the A Musical Celebration of Coco show was performing back by the Paradise Gardens Park, which turns into Plaza de la Familia for the holiday season. This year, the show is getting some updates and a new name. The Storytellers of Plaza de la Familia celebrate the musical world of Coco. Yes, that's the full title. Will feature some new costumes and an updated story. The updated show will premiere a week after the holiday season starts on August 30th.
We will have, of course, links in our show notes, but Maistat did share some of the concept art for the new show, and it looks like some of our favorites are returning, so we still have, like, the Land of the Dead dancers and, like, those puppets. I also see the Miguel puppet, but it looks like we've added some other favorites. We have Dante and Pepita are going to be part of the show too. The costumings, it looks beautiful. It looks very vibrant. I mean, obviously, I know this is the concept art. I know that there's not truly going to be glowing marigold leaves
Right.
or petals flowing around them like they are here, but it looks really
One
beautiful.
thing I do notice that I think will be a plus if it's not just concept art is Miguel is up on a small little stage.
Yeah, that
Because
would
he's
be a
been
plus.
hard to see because it's a street performance. They're
Right.
not really on a stage.
Yeah, you're right, because there are different, like, physical, like, almost like little set pieces.
Yeah.
Including Miguel being on a stage. I'm excited. I'm sad that we won't get to experience it ourselves in person this year because we, unfortunately, are not going to be going back out for Halloween time at the resort. But if you get to see this, let us know. We want to live vicariously through you. I'm looking forward to people's photos and videos that they're going to share
yeah.
because this looks like a really nice plus.
100%.
Well, when we were in the parks a couple of weeks ago for D23 Day, a very popular item had returned to the resort, drawing very large lines. The Build Your Own headbands have returned with some upcoming additions for the spooky season. Zero, Jack, and Sally will be available starting August 23rd, of course, the start of the Halloween time celebration.
These looked fun. We actually looked at them. There was a huge line on D23 Day going out of the Mad Hatter store on Main Street. I like the idea of these a lot. The sad thing that I had was I think they're very, very cute. For me personally, I think they're a little pricier than I want to spend, even though when you add it all up, it is about the price of a set of ears.
But that's only if you get... So the draw to this, right, is that you get to, collect all the different characters and stuff so you can swap things out. If you buy a headband and one set of characters, so 2 characters... That is the cost of like what a normal headband ears set would be. So it gets pricey if you're wanting to swap stuff out, which is like, for me, that's why I would get this, is so that I could swap things out or do cute things like have 3 aliens across my head and, make it.
See, I want to get this because I want this. What's nice is it's not gendered. Like there's no bow like Minnie. Yeah. But also, I love Chip and Dale. So I would get Chip and Dale as my little headpiece. I think it'd be fun to get like Jack and Zero on my headpiece or something like that. I don't know if I'd fill too much up there because I feel like that's a lot. I did notice, and Teresa, you're more of the ear aficionado than I am, so maybe you can speak to this better. But I thought that the band itself felt like it was pretty soft and plushy and like it'd be really comfortable.
It does look like it's comfy.
Does that seem softer than like the normal bands? Or they about
look
the same?
like they look like they're more cushioned than the other ones, but sometimes with headbands, for me anyways, it's all about how much is it hugging and pressing and not necessarily like the amount of cushion on it. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So
it's the pressure of the squeeze, not necessarily the pressure of like a hard piece of something on you.
Yeah, as far as like comfort goes. Because it can be like I've worn other headbands that maybe weren't as like cushiony, but they didn't press as much. So they felt more comfortable, even if it was it's a higher cushion, but it's pressing in. That gets a little tiresome after a while. So I have not tried these. I did not get a set of these when we were there. This is a bad thing for me because there's too many choices, and everyone knows how well I do with choices, especially when it comes to Disney choices. So if this was like a lower price point, I would 100% do this because I would want all of the characters.
Yeah.
But with the current price point and my current wants, I should not. My bank account would not want me to buy all of these.
We did have a funny moment so I have been not buying t-shirts at the parks or hats because those are 2 things that I have too many of. And I told Teresa,
we're gonna forget that you bought both of those things in June.
Well, no. I had told Teresa that when I bought something new, I'd have to retire something else because like I can't keep all this stuff. And then I was commenting to Teresa when we were in the hat store and she bought another pair of ears. I said, I thought you weren't buying any more ears. And she's like, we're not going to talk about this, Tag. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. I bought shirts and hats, which when I went home and was showing off my haul to people at home, I was like, I know I don't need any more hats, but I had to buy these 2 Imagineering hats and I didn't need any more shirts, but I had to buy these like 4 Imagineering shirts.
I forgot that you bought hats this time. I thought that it was just
No, I bought
June,
the 2 Imagineering ones.
You had bought
cool.
the one of the Pride hats when we were there in June.
That's because I forgot a hat and I needed a hat. I wanted a hat for that
forgot
day,
I had at the hotel, but yeah.
Anyway, out in Walt Disney World, there will be a Villains Land soon, but Disneyland has something Villains themed right now. Magic key holders can purchase a special stainless steel tumbler at select quick service locations. The tumbler is purple and features different Disney villains on it.
It's cute. I like it. I think it's fun. I think I would like it better if it came with some sort of perk like dollar refills or, some sort of extra perk like that instead of it just being a cool cup. But it is a cool cup.
I don't know why Disney doesn't do that stuff more where you can buy like a popcorn bucket or a cup that like...
Yeah.
I mean, they do it occasionally, but I don't know why they don't do it more often.
It feels... And I'm not a Walt Disney World person, so I might be totally off on this. It feels like Walt Disney World does a lot of refill type things more so than Disneyland does. Like to the point of, I think it's even, you don't even have to have a specific bucket to get the refill price. Just any Disney popcorn bucket to get the refill price. Again, I might be completely wrong. As we all know, this is not a Walt Disney World podcast. Yeah. We are not Walt Disney World aficionados by any stretch.
I might also be wrong, but I feel like a lot of the parks that are near Orlando also offer stuff like that.
Sure.
So I think to remain competitive, Disney kind of does some of that, where Disneyland... But I don't think a lot of parks around Disneyland... I mean, there's nothing really that close except for Knott's.
Yeah, but Knott's has like food, like dining packages that you can add onto your annual pass.
I don't know why Disneyland has never had a dining package.
I would love that. that. Disney?
Yeah,
Disneyland, if you're listening, we would like a dining package.
I don't know if you actually want this, though, because I feel like one of the things that I remember people talking about with the Disney World dining package is they give you like a certain amount of like snacks and a certain amount of meals and all this other stuff. And I feel like you would do your normal thing of like, well, do I want to spend my snack credit on this? Or do I want to wait and spend my snack credit on that?
No, because of probably how many credits they give you and how much I normally eat in a day, it would probably work to my advantage.
That's true. I would go through all mine with pickles. You know,
Yes,
last night after dinner, I was like, you know what would be really good right now? James was like, what, ice cream? I said, a Disneyland pickle. And he rolled his eyes at me.
I could use my snack credits for cold brews. I like this idea. I like this idea a lot.
I think it does work on things like that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm for it. I'm all for it. So maybe I would just need extra snack credit. Like can I transition like any breakfast
I don't think it works that way.
to snack credits? Maybe I can use a breakfast credit for a cold brew.
Maybe.
Well, with Disneyland being located in California, it is always possible for the Earth to move beneath your feet. On August 12th, around 12:20 p.m., a 4.6 magnitude earthquake struck the Los Angeles area. We were in the parks at that point and actually didn't feel it. This is going to sound a little strange. I was a little disappointed. I've never experienced an earthquake before, so I was a little sad that I experienced one without even realizing that I experienced one. But I guess that's kind of normal, though. Earthquakes happen and you don't necessarily notice that they happen. Well, but just a note that when there is an earthquake, sometimes Disneyland will close attractions to ensure safety, and they are well equipped to respond if a large earthquake does occur.
Yeah.
Which I think we did see that. Not all attractions went down, but it felt like there were suddenly multiple attractions down and then came back up.
Yeah, I have this thing. So I grew up in California. And I lived through the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake. I was a little kid, but I remember it, and it was a big deal in Northern California. And back then, they were like, the next big one's going to be within 30 years. Well, it's been more than 30 years. So I'm always thinking when I go to California, and I try not to mention this to Teresa very often because I don't want to like freak her out or put it out in the universe. But I'm always cognizant of like, occasionally I'll be sitting somewhere and I'll think, we're in earthquake territory. At any moment, an earthquake can happen. So I don't think I told you this. When we were sitting in the Honda Center, I was thinking, if there's an earthquake, how will this building hold up to an earthquake? And how do we get out of here? Because we're so high up. And so like a lot of those thoughts went through my mind.
Sure.
So, but I try not to like share those because I'm like, I don't need to freak other people out. Like I don't freak out about it, but I just kind of like, sometimes it'll cross through my mind and I try to come up with like an exit strategy. Sure. And in the Honda Center, I was like, I don't know what that would be.
Yeah. I don't know.
It was good that it doesn't sound like anybody got hurt or there was any major damage or anything like that. So that's good. Let's fingers crossed that these little 4.6s relieve the pressure so we don't have like a 7 or 8.
There you go.
Well, we finally have an official update on Porto's coming to Downtown Disney. According to Business Wire, Porto's is officially opening in the shopping district in 2025. No specific time frame in 2025 yet, but it is confirmed as coming to the old La Brea Bakery location.
I'm excited. The only Portos that Tag and I have experienced was the little snack pack they gave us at the 2022 D23 Parks and Experiences panel. So that's all we've ever experienced. And lots of people talk very highly of this. They're very excited that it's coming. I think it's really fun to have a nice breakfast, grab and go style breakfast option right outside both of the main, both of the main turnstiles to the parks. Because one thing that's a little difficult, and we kind of ran into this trip, is there's not always a ton of breakfast options once you get into the park. And then some places, like we ran into with Red Rose Tavern, does serve breakfast, but they don't open until like an hour after the park had opened. And we want to get a jump on our day and have breakfast right away. So that was a little strange. So this will be nice because we can go over as soon as we get through security, grab some Portos, and then have breakfast taken care of on Disney property before official rope drop.
We have, there's been so much about Portos. Is it coming? Is it not coming? Is it going to be a big enough building? Is it going to be that? I'm sorry, but my opinion about Portos now is I don't even care anymore. The only Portos we had was the one time. Yeah. It was fine. It wasn't anything earth-shattering. People talk very highly of it, so maybe it is earth-shattering and just what we had was just mid-range. But I just feel I don't know. I don't even care if it comes anymore. I'm more excited about Earl of Sandwich getting a permanent location and stop having to move around. It would be nice to have something breakfasty, but we're doing okay most of the time trying to get in and get stuff. I do wish Disneyland went back to what they used to do, which is, and I think it was a Walt thing too, of there shouldn't be things closed in the park. Like when you
Sure.
go in, like you shouldn't be waiting. Because there was another couple that was sitting there that were upset that the Red Rose Tavern wasn't open for breakfast yet either, because they also wanted the breakfast there. So I don't know. But hopefully this is coming sooner rather than later, and it can open, and we can all stop talking about it, because it's just, again, one of those things that's just like, come on, man. Do it or don't do it. Let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
Yoo-hoo! Hello, everybody! It's me, Heimlich. My stomach is so empty. Hey, help me to go find something to eat. Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Well, for this week's snack chat, we have quite the pile of foodie guides that we need to go through. In fact, we're actually separating them and doing them over 2 weeks, because there was a lot of foodie guides that released while we were gone, and then also earlier this week, which is super exciting. So we've got lots and lots and lots to talk about. First up, we're going to be talking about Halloween time and the Plaza de la Familia foodie guides.
So this one, spoiler alert, I have one item on this whole list that I thought was exciting.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even think it was a new one, because it's not marked as new. For me, the Paradise Garden Grill, available through November 14th with mobile order available, is the Al Pastor tacos, which are a pineapple achote marinated pork with avocado spread and tomatillo sauce, served with Spanish rice and refried beans topped with queso fresco. That is what seemed exciting to me. Now, don't worry, everybody, because I have quite the extensive list for the Halloween time foodie guide, which we'll talk about in a minute. What is on your list?
And one thing that I noticed is a lot of these sound very familiar on the Plaza de la Familia foodie guide that's over at the Paradise Garden Grill, because a lot of these things were going on during like Pixar Fest. Like these have been on this menu for a little bit of time now. One thing though that is new for sure for this season is the vanilla layer cake, or as I like to call it, the churro cake. It is layers of vanilla cake filled with cinnamon mousse and sweet cream cheese frosting. This is one that they bring back year after year. It is delicious.
Was it part of your wedding cake?
I was gonna say I have like a special like connection to this, because we had 2 tiers of wedding cake for our Disneyland wedding. One was Dole Whip wedding cake, and then the other one was
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries plus napkins plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
churro. So I have like, this holds a special place in my heart, because whenever we get to have the what I'm going to call churro cake, but it's actually technically called the vanilla layer cake or cocoa cake. Maybe you could call it that too, because it's bright and fun colored and is like Dia de los Muertos themed. It always like brings me back to me being able to experience my wedding cake all over again, which those were very unique Disney specific flavors. So it's not like Vern and I can go to the local bakery every anniversary to have our cake again, but I wouldn't change it. That was like the perfect cake for us. Come on, Dole Whip and churros are the Vern and I's top treats. But they also have there was a couple things that sounded delicious to me. There's chile verde chicken flautas that looked really delicious. They're topped with avocado spread, shredded lettuce, crema, queso fresco, tomatillo salsa, and pickled onions, served with Spanish rice and refried beans. And then there's also this, I think Vern tried this, the huarache with soy chorizo, beans, and seasoned steak tips, topped with lettuce, cheese, avocado crema, and tomatillo salsa, also served with Spanish rice and refried beans. This is a plant-based option, and it looks delicious. Vern, when he had this, when we were there in June, he ate this so fast I didn't even get to like try a bite, because he like inhaled it. He enjoyed it so much. So good option for our plant-based friends out there.
Well, the other one that we're talking about is the Halloween time foodie guide, which also came out. This one has a ton of items.
It does have a ton.
I messaged Teresa and I was like, oh my goodness, what is going on with this foodie guide? Because there is so much. Now, some of this stuff is repeat from previous years and some of these things are new, but man, there's just a ton of stuff. I told Teresa, if we were to be at the park for Halloween time and she had to try all the drinks, she would, in like 2 weeks of being in the park, we could not finish all of these drinks. There's so many drinks.
There's so many. So what we're going to do, since this is a very lengthy foodie guide, of course, links are in our show notes for the full foodie guides for those that need to peruse. But we're just going to highlight new items that are included on this year's foodie guide, as well as ones that we're excited for or we've had and like would eat over and over and over and over and over again.
Everything but one thing on my list is new.
Look at that. So starting at Alien Pizza Planet, I don't think either of these made it to our list, but we're going to just mention they have a new item called Dark Matter Pizza. It's sliced with celestial tomato sauce and topped with mozzarella cheese, spicy Italian sausage, roasted mushrooms, and black olives. And there's also a new version of the Alien Macron. This is Buzz Lightyear dressed up though, because he's in his Halloween costume. So it's the Alien Buzz Macron filled with berries and cream.
You mean the alien is dressed up as Buzz?
Yeah, the alien, the little green man alien is dressed up as Buzz Lightyear. So cute.
So the one thing that they're having at Bengal Barbecue that's available from August 23rd through November 13th is one of the things on my list, which was a hoopla wrap. It's a wild boar sausage with a cucumber, tomato salad, and miso aioli on a grilled lavash.
I just love the name.
It looks really good. The lavash, for people who don't know what that is, in the photo it looks kind of like a flat, like a flatbread. So it looks good. It's kind of like a weird variation. If I had to describe it to someone, it looks from the photo like it's an interesting version of like a different version of like Ronto wrap.
Yeah, it's like the Adventureland version of a Ronto wrap.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that was on my list because I was like, sure, I would try that. That seems pretty good.
Over at the Blue Bayou restaurant, there's a pumpkin swirl cheesecake, yum, with spice anglaise, chocolate crumb, and pecan toulet.
I put all three things at Daisy's Cafe on my list.
So, that's saying something.
Cafe Daisy in Toontown.
There's a cold brew in there. You put a cold brew on your list?
Because I thought when you hear the description, I think I might try it if we were going. Daisy's Goody Goody Donuts, which are house-made mini apple cider donuts with spiced apple sugar. Sounds really good.
That sounds delicious.
Available through January 7th, actually. So this one's hanging around for the full holiday season. There's a caramel apple cold brew, which I think Teresa would probably also maybe try.
Heck yes.
Cold brew coffee with apple and caramel syrups, whipped topping, caramel drizzle, cinnamon sugar, and an apple chip. Again, sounds really good.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
And then the Toontown Fall Harvest Pumpkin Iced Tea, which is a sweet tea with vanilla and pumpkin spice syrup, whipped topping, caramel drizzle, and cinnamon sugar, which also sounds very good.
Over at the Carnation Cafe, this one made me laugh. We know we've had pickle lemonade, but hang on to your hats. There is now a spiked pickle lemonade made with Tito's homemade vodka, Minute Maid lemonade, pickle juice, and sweet and sour, topped with Sprite and a pickle spear. So we tried the pickle lemonade. It is not one I need to try and experience again, but there are people that really, really love and enjoy it. So now you can have an alcoholic version of the pickle lemonade.
I mean, I think you need some alcohol to like that. But anyway, that's just my opinion. The other two new items there are an Elysian Brewing Night Owl Pumpkin Ale and a Spaten Oktoberfest Marzen as well.
I did not see any new churros. Don't tell Vernie, he's going to be very sad. I don't see any new churros in Disneyland for Halloween time. So, unfortunately, we don't have that. But over at Edelweiss Snacks, they have a Fantasyland garlic cheesy brat. So, it's our very favorite cheesy garlic pretzel bread with a brat in it. So they took a note from everyone making their own sandwiches with Bengal skewers and the garlic cheesy bread. And they now have an actual like sandwich made from the garlic cheesy pretzel bread.
Is on my list. However, I'm cautiously optimistic about this one because I'm not a bratwurst fan. I know I live in Wisconsin and should be. But to me in the photo, it looks more hot doggy than bratty. So I'm thinking it might be more like that.
I'm with you, Tig. I'm picky about brats too. There are good brats and there are not as good brats.
Well, you know who cooks a heck of a brat is Producer Vern.
It's true.
Producer Vern has made the only brats I've ever eaten and actually enjoyed.
He does a good job.
The other item there I'm also excited about, which is the Alpine Almond Delight, which is a rolled Danish filled with pastry cream and almond cream finished with sliced almonds.
This looks so good.
I mean, I love Danish pastries with almond. It's just so good. So good.
Over at the Galactic Grill, we have the Ghost of Anaheim burger. It's an Angus beef and vegetable patty, ghost pepper salsa, verde sauce, pepper jack, green chili, pico de gallo, cilantro lime, cabbage slaw, and crispy onions all piled on a toasted brioche bun.
I added the pumpkin pie chai tea to my list. It's an iced chai tea topped with pumpkin pie cream. It's non-alcoholic, but it sounds good.
Really, really good. There's also an acai blueberry smoothie with acai, blueberries, banana, and orange, topped with whipped cream and matcha powder. You can also get a Mickey Glow Cube or Mickey Mouse shaped pumpkin glow cube. I would 100% get the pumpkin shaped glow cube. That sounds fun. This would be awesome if they had this for like breakfast. If this is on the breakfast menu to get a smoothie for breakfast.
Sure.
I like that.
Over at Harbor Galley, this is actually available through January 5th. They have a Transylvania Transfusion, which is a dark berry and cherry punch garnished with fresh berries.
I'm all about this. I don't know what it is specifically about the Transylvania Transfusion. Perhaps it's the name. Perhaps it's the berry and cherry punch with berries. I don't know. I love everything about this. I wish I could try this so bad. It looks so delicious and refreshing.
Teresa's just going to have to like make a long weekend out of it or something. Go out there and just get all the drinks.
Get all the food.
The Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe has a ton of stuff coming that's new. The first one on the list is a Jack-o'-lantern Mickey pumpkin macaron, which is a pumpkin macaron shell filled with caramel, buttercream, and pumpkin cheesecake. And now that I've read the description, that actually does sound
and it's really
good.
cute.
It is cute.
It's really cute. It's pumpkin shaped. There's also a spiced bundt cake, which is spice cake filled with cream cheese frosting and topped with purple glaze, sprinkles, and spiced mousse with a Mickey chocolate decoration.
There's also a caramel apple cheesecake, which is a caramel cheesecake with a caramelized apple filling, green colored white chocolate mousse, chocolate flakes, and a chocolate bat decoration.
An apple almond croissant. Ooh, that sounds really good. Apple stuffed croissant with an almond topping. And the one I'm so excited about this. There is a hazelnut brownie tart with chocolate frosting. So it looks like a hand pie, but it's a hazelnut spread and brownie filling topped with chocolate frosting and sprinkles.
That's what that one was. Okay, because I want that. I would have added that to my list if I would have known what that was.
It looks so delicious. It looks possibly a little messy, but delicious and worth it.
The last new item there is a pear blackberry cheesecake crostata, which is fresh pears with New York cheesecake and blackberry jam in a pie crust topped with caramel. But the thing I added to the list is not new, but still is great, is the bulgogi toasted sandwich with corn cheese soup. It's marinated beef, grilled onion, mozzarella, and kimchi aioli on sourdough served with a corn cheese soup. This sounds really great because you always like the bulgogi stuff and whatever.
They also have the classic pumpkin muffin topped with cream cheese icing and the Mickey Bat cookies, which are shortbread bat cookies that are adorable. Moving on over to the Little Red Wagon. This is another, like, if we were going, this would be top of my list. And I don't know what it is specifically about this that makes me so curious and want to try it. It is the blueberry corn dog. It is a hand-dipped corn dog topped with blueberry compote and bacon powdered sugar. Okay, maybe I'm not so convinced about the bacon powdered sugar, but something about the sweet and savory with the corn dog and the blueberry, I really want to try this. You're a no on that one? You're a no on that one, I take it. That's okay.
No,
more for me.
We're getting closer to the thing that I really don't understand. But anyway, at the Mint Julep Bar, there's a couple new items. There's a tangy apple Mickey-shaped beignets dusted with tangy apple powdered sugar. Packs are 3 of 6, which is new. And then a caramel dipping sauce you can get on the side.
You know what just dawned on me? We were going to try, I think there was like a guava something or other beignet when we were just there, and we completely forgot to go over and have
Wasn't there a peach
the beignets.
beignet?
Maybe it was peach. There was some sort of specialty fruit flavored beignets that we meant to try, and we completely forgot about it until just this moment.
Oh, well.
Fail. Moving on to the Plaza Inn. This looks really cool. The poison apple cake. It's red cinnamon cake, and when we say red, we mean red.
Yeah.
With cream cheese and caramelized apple filling, red cream cheese frosting with a green ganache drip. So in theme.
It looks good.
so in theme.
They also have a chocolate shortcake, which is a chocolate pound cake, cookie crumbs, chocolate syrup, whipped topping, gummy candy, and chocolate tombstone. I can feel my teeth rotting out of my face right now.
Follow that up with a chocolate silk cheesecake. So lots of yummy themed desserts at the Plaza Inn. Chocolate cheesecake topped with white chocolate mousse, chocolate curls, and sprinkles. Yum, yum, yum. How does one choose?
Popcorn. Near Haunted Mansion, a Halloween candy mix-in. So it's popcorn with chocolate-covered pretzels. That actually kind of sounds good. Candy corn and M&M's peanut butter chocolate candies.
Lots of fun new things coming to Rancho. They have churro loops con cajita, which are fried churro loops tossed with spiced cinnamon sugar and served with cajita caramel.
That's also available through January 4th. Mickey-shaped pumpkin salted dulce cream puff filled with pumpkin mousse and salted dulce de leche, which this sounds good. All these like cream puff things always sound really good.
There's also the iced Mexican hot chocolate with whipped cream and chocolate shavings. Yes, sign me up for that. That sounds
And this
delicious.
is not new, but would you...
100%. There's also a cantaloupe agua fresca, which is made with cantaloupe puree with lime juice. I just had one this past trip, and it was... Now I don't remember what it was. It was maybe like a strawberry lime agua fresca. It was so good. So and same thing where it came with like the fruit puree. It had a consistency similar, not 100%, but similar more to like a smoothie, where it was kind of more of a textured consistency than it just being like water or like juice consistency where it's just liquid. So good. So yeah, 100% want to get this cantaloupe one.
Over at Red Rose Tavern, there's the Autumnal Harvest Flatbread, which is roasted butternut squash puree, roasted mushrooms, plant-based feta, and roasted diced butternut squash topped with garlic miso sauce and fried sage. That actually sounds
really good. Hold the mushrooms for me, but it sounds really good. There's the Enchanted Pumpkin Stuff, which is new. Pumpkin mousse with pumpkin cake and apricot marmalade center, topped with green sprinkles, silver stars, chocolate branches, and a leaf. So it looks kind of like a... I don't know. Like, it doesn't look like the gray stuff. It's a little bit more themed, I guess would be a good way of saying it. I need to just mention, this is not new, but I need to look out for my fellow cold brew fans. The Pumpkin Cheesecake Tavern Cold Brew is coming back to Red Rose Tavern.
Did you like this one?
I do remember liking this one. It's caramel, vanilla, and cinnamon cold brew with pumpkin cheesecake topper.
At the refreshment corner, this is where... I'm not sure. I feel like I'm the weird one, though, because I told my brother, who hasn't been to Disneyland since the late 90s, about this, and he's like, I would totally eat that, but James and I you'll get Teresa's opinion in a second, are skeptical. It is the Philly potato dog. It is a baked potato topped with an all-beef hot dog, thinly sliced beef, peppers, pepperoncinis, provolone, and a cherry spread.
Ooh, I don't think I noticed the cherry spread the first time I read through this.
This is like a hot dog, like replace the bun with a baked potato, but then also make it with the sliced beef and peppers, kind of like a Philly cheesesteak almost. Cheesesteak. So this is like, it doesn't know what it is. Is it a baked potato? Is it a hot dog? Is it a Philly cheesesteak? I don't know. It's all of those things together.
It's a little bit of everything. So this is not the first potato dog that I have seen on a foodie guide. This is something new that they've been trying, and it must be popular since they're coming out with different versions. I don't know if I could commit to ordering a full one, but I would be curious to try a bite. Does that make sense?
You know who would probably love this?
I'm curious how all those flavors would mesh together.
Vern would probably love this, because anytime we're skeptical of food, he thinks it's great.
That's true.
Except for he doesn't eat meat anymore.
So if the Philly potato dog isn't your thing, there's also the Embers con queso, which is hot, crunchy cheese curls with nacho cheese and jalapeno. So if you like spice, this one's for you. So not for Tag.
No. Over at the Royal Street Veranda, the Pumpkin King Cold Brew, which is Joffrey's Pumpkin Creme Brulee Cold Brew, pumpkin spice creamer, toffee chips, and Jack Skellington decor.
If I could have a number one if we were going, this is my number one cold brew that I want to try. Not only does it sound delicious with the creme brulee cold brew, pumpkin creme brulee, it's got a Jack Skellington chocolate as the little top. Oh, so not only does it sound delicious, it looks amazing and in theme. I'm for this Pumpkin King cold brew.
Have they ever had a cold brew at the Veranda? I don't remember them ever having a coffee there or a cold brew. I think I've
gotten drinks there, but like fun drinks, but I don't remember ever getting a cold brew there before. You're right.
At Tiana's Palace, I'm very sad we're missing this because I feel like this is replacing the lemon-filled one, and I would actually try this one. It's a strawberry pie-filled beignet. So it's got a strawberry cream filling topped with strawberry glaze.
I just want to mention this. I don't remember this being a thing before, but over at the Stage Door Cafe, it's not marked that it's new, so apparently this was a thing previously, but there's a graveyard banana funnel cake. It's classic funnel cake topped with banana cream, chocolate cookie dust, Halloween candy, whipped topping, and sprinkles. That sounds delicious to me.
That looks very rich.
Well, all of the funnel cakes look very rich and like you need to share them.
That is true.
But something about the banana cream on it sounds really delicious and interesting. Yes, I'm excited about that one that you've got a side eye at right now.
I only have the side eye because my brain is interpreting this that Tinkerbell is being submerged by a Dole Whip.
See, I think it looks like a Muppet more.
A little green man eyes are popping. I don't know. Like all I see is like Tinkerbell's
So what
wings.
is it that's got you confused, Tag?
At the Tropical Hideaway, there is a Monstropolis float, which is an ube-dusted Dole Whip, pineapple and mango with passion fruit, coconut juice, and lychee fruit.
I want this so bad.
But the way that they have this photo, it just looks like two like pixie wings. Anyway, sorry.
I get what you're saying now. I didn't see that. My eyes went right to the lychee fruit, which they kind of have set in their like eyeballs.
Yeah.
So it looks like a little. So that's why. Like I saw a Muppet when I first looked at it because it looks like Muppet eyes to me. But I see why you're seeing Tinkerbell because they have like leaf garnishes in the back that are very reminiscent of like Tinkerbell wings.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a Dole Whip, so it's like her hair in a bun.
Oh, didn't even see that part of it.
Yeah. Well, also at the Tropical Hideaway, there's the utundu chicken, fried chicken thighs, shishito peppers, harissa aioli, and a lime wedge. I feel like that might be your thing because you like chicken thighs.
If it wasn't for the peppers,
maybe they
like
might
chicken
not
thighs.
be super spicy peppers.
I wonder if we could just get it without the peppers.
Perhaps.
Over at Disney California Adventure at Aunt Cass.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't know, that was just Disneyland. And that was just the new stuff at Disneyland. Hang on to your hats and glasses. We got another park.
At Disney California Adventure at Aunt Cass's Cafe, we have the taro bread pudding, which is warm taro and white chocolate bread pudding with whipped cream and boba pearl served in a coconut vanilla sauce.
That sounds so good. Somehow, I'm going to confess, we have never tried any of the bread puddings that are over at Aunt Cass's Cafe. That was the bakery.
Do they just use like bread that they haven't sold and make it into
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they make it. It could be, but I have heard such good things about all the different bread puddings that this location has come out with over the years. So I'm sure this is also going to be a hit. There's a couple of new drinks over at Award Wieners. We have the Brewery X Baja Breeze, as well as the Party Beer Co. LAFC Hazy IPA.
At Boardwalk Pizza and Pasta, there's a spicy meats pizza. It's a mango habanero sauce topped with pepperoni, spicy sausage, and chicken drizzled with ranch dressing. Teresa, pick yourself off the floor. You can get this as a slice or a whole pizza.
I looked ahead. That like noise coming from me that I was trying very hard not to like let out, but I did a really bad job, so I tried to get away from the microphone so you guys couldn't hear me accidentally interrupting Tag. I looked ahead.
Well, you got two cold brews.
I hadn't seen this. I missed this when I looked at the foodie guide before. Over at the cappuccino cart, there's a peanut butter cold brew. Come on. Chocolate and peanut butter infused cold brew, topped with a peanut butter cold foam, drizzle, and M&M's peanut butter chocolate candies. Sign me. I need to book a plane ticket right now just for the cold brews alone.
And they have a peanut butter cold brew cocktail, which is a peanut butter whiskey with chocolate and peanut butter infused cold brew topped with peanut butter cold foam and drizzle.
Yes.
At Churros at Hollywoodland, they have a matcha chai madness churro with matcha and pistachio sugar coated churro drizzled with chocolate sauce and topped with almonds.
This looks good. It sounds good. Okay. Over at Clarabelle's hand scooped ice cream, they have a lava cake. It's a warm chocolate lava cake topped with a scoop of vanilla ice cream, fresh berries, and a strawberry sauce. Oh, yum.
They also have a candy corn float, which is a Fanta orange with mango sorbet and whipped cream. That could be interesting.
I would also try that. No questions asked. Yum. Yeah, we've now started the Teresa's drink
section.
capade. I don't know. Tour. Oh, so many delicious things.
Then let me say the churro, then you can say the drink. So at Cozy Cone Motel 1, there's a peanut butter chocolate churro, which is peanut butter sugar-coated churro with peanut butter candy and chocolate sauce.
Yum. There's a fire truck slush, which is strawberry slush with a hint of chili lime seasoning and a lime. And also, you can get it as a margarita. It's a strawberry slush margarita, also with a hint of chili lime seasoning and a lime. You had me at strawberry slush and lime for sure. I'm a little curious what the chili does to the flavor here. So I would hesitate. Like I would try this, but I'm not like sold on the description alone because I don't like my brain can't comprehend strawberry and chili together.
Sure. At Cozy Cone Motel 2, there's Mater's Halloween Cone, which is an ube soft serve with black sprinkles served in a cup or a cone.
Yum.
There's also an ube vanilla twist soft serve, which is ube and vanilla swirl with black sprinkles served in a cup or a cone.
We have all sorts of drinks come into the Cozy Cone Motel 4, which is the frozen cone concoctions. We have the 4x S'mores Mule, a toasted marshmallow mule with cinnamon whiskey. There's a non-alcoholic cucumber jalapeno lemonade. I'd probably pass on that one, as well as the cucumber jalapeno margarita.
There's a Golden Road Brewing Street Cart Cerveza Cucumber Jalapeno Beer Cocktail.
Ooh.
Which that's I can imagine walking up. Can I get the Golden Road Brewing Street Cart Cerveza Cucumber Jalapeno Beer Cocktail? It's got a cucumber jalapeno chamoy lemonade with Golden Road Street Cart Cerveza. There's also a Party Beer Company Cool Dude Sour Cucumber Jalapeno Beer Cocktail, which is cucumber jalapeno chamoy lemonade served with Party Beer Company Cool Dude Cucumber Sour.
Over there, you can also get from Unsung Brewing Company a Poison Green Apple Hard Seltzer. I would try that.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. Green Cheek Beer Co. has a West Coast IPA, and there's also a Golden Road Brewing Street Cart Cerveza. So these are beers that are used in the beer, like fancy drinks from before, but you can get them just on their own.
And down at Flo's V8 Cafe, they have a Seaborn Chili Mango Margarita. God, this is all drinks, isn't it?
All the drinks.
And a Hamilton Family Brewery Cross Street Cherry Seltzer. There's so many photos of drinks here.
Lots and lots of drinks.
Oh, my goodness.
At the Hollywood Lounge, you can get Asian-inspired spicy pork tacos with kimchi, cucumber, carrots, and pickled onions with sriracha aioli in a flour tortilla. Yum. Yum, yum.
There's a cucumber mint lemonade and a mystical mandarin margarita, which is tequila, mandarin syrup, triple sec, and lemon lime mix.
There's also a dreadful dragon fruit margarita, tequila, dragon fruit syrup, triple sec, and lemon lime mix.
There's a spooky spicy pineapple margarita, which is tequila, pineapple habanero syrup, triple sec, and flavors of lemon lime. It feels like there's a lot of spicy things.
You know what? I'm going to just pause right here. The Hollywood Lounge has 15 new drinks added to their menu.
Perfect.
Most of them are alcoholic. The only non-alcoholic one was the cucumber mint lemonade that we listed off. If you are interested in reading more about those, because it's a lot for us to go through, be sure to check the link in our show notes to the Disney Parks blog for the official foodie guide.
At the Boardwalk Dining section of Lamplight Lounge, there's a Halloween cocktail, which is Frangelico, orange juice, vanilla vodka, butterscotch syrup, almond orgeat syrup, and Angostura bitters. I'm sorry I butchered that, but that's what that is.
That's okay. We're going to run over to the Lamplight Lounge next. We have pumpkin spiced latte donuts. Yum. There's also the same Halloween cocktail that's over at the Lamplight Lounge Boardwalk Dining. But you can also get a cat's paw cider and an imperial peanut butter stout.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
At Poultry Palace, there's a Chipotle chicken drumsticks box served with slaw.
You know, I think this is the first time I've seen that Poultry Palace is on a foodie guide, so that's really exciting. Moving on to Schmoozies. This is exciting to me because you can now get Mickey-shaped waffles with maple syrup at Schmoozies. So I feel like, did we get another breakfast location? Quick service breakfast location that'll be open in DCA, because that would be awesome. There's also a pumpkin espresso martini with caramel vodka.
There's also a cat Puccino Vanilla Bean Coffee Stout, a Ciderworks San Diego Jam Mixed Berry Cider as well at Schmoozies.
Over at Smoke Jumpers, we have the Villainous Double Cheeseburger, which is a double cheeseburger with pepper jack, chili peppers, arugula, and spicy aioli, served with some crinkle cut fries. I'm excited about this. They also have an Oogie Boogie Apple Lemonade, which is green apple lemonade with cherry-flavored popping spears and raspberry sauce.
Well,
and new this year, you can get it as a cocktail.
Ah, okay. Over at Studio Catering Company, they have Asian-inspired spicy pork tacos, which have kimchi, cucumber, carrots, and pickled onions with a sriracha aioli in a flour tortilla, and a cucumber mint lemonade.
Yeah, and if those sound familiar, that's because you can also get them at the Hollywood Lounge.
Ah. I have something for the select outdoor vending location that's on my list, which is the garlic cream cheese bread.
There's also a ghost pepper turkey leg. I would, again, 100%, if I was there, this would be on my list. They have a red beef tamale and a green chili and cheese tamale.
Ooh.
Yum! I love tamales.
They have a
Yum,
candy
yum, yum, yum.
apple cotton candy, which is green and purple caramel apple cotton candy together, which is...
And if cotton candy is not your thing, you can get a candy apple mimosa, which is
Ooh.
sparkling wine with green apple and caramel syrups.
Or a Baja Lime margarita, if that's your thing.
Baja Lime margarita.
I think that's where we're going to stop. Because
Yum.
there is a ton of stuff at the Disneyland Hotel.
Yes. Trader Sam's has a bunch of fun... It looks like 3 new fun themed drinks. The Coffee House has some treats that you can get over there, as well as some coffee drinks that are themed as well. Goofy's Kitchen has its own separate event and brunch that you can go there. Let's just go through the menu highlights at Goofy's Kitchen Celebrates Halloween. This is October 23rd through the 31st. Reservations are recommended if you want to experience Goofy's Kitchen for Halloween time.
So some of the menu highlights at Goofy's Kitchen are the blackberry ginger soda, which sounds kind of interesting. Also non-alcoholic.
A blood orange spritz.
A maple apple cider. I would also try this.
Maple apple hot toddy. So you can put a little booze in your maple apple cider.
Yeah. And there's just a ton of stuff everywhere else.
Tons.
We would triple the length of our podcast if we just went through all of this stuff.
Of course, you need to make sure you go check out the Grand Californian Great Hall Cart because they always have super fun themed treats that you can find over there. Mickey's Autumn Adventures at Storytellers Cafe, so they've got a special themed dining going on over there too. There is so much stuff to go and experience. It's crazy. Pixar Place Hotel even has stuff, and of course, various locations throughout downtown Disney. So, I mean, that's really the reason that they had to bump Halloween time up into August, because they knew what the foodie guide all had. And if you wanted to make your way through the foodie guide, you needed that much more time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
The last thing we could talk about is the novelties you can get with your food. They're available at a bunch of locations, but the ones are there's a Mickey Jack-o'-lantern sipper.
This one's cute.
That's available at all types of places in both parks, at the Disneyland Hotel, the Grand Californian. There's a green poison red apple glow cube that's available at a bunch of places as well. Oh, this one is amazing.
About. We have Cusco's Poison Bottle Glow Cube. It looks so good. So it's the little llama pink poison vial that they try and... I think they were trying to kill Cusco, and they didn't realize that the label had slipped, and it actually was poison for a llama, to turn him into a llama instead. So, such a good one. The other thing that's super fun too is there's a Halloween Mickey pumpkin bucket, which is Mickey. This was a Halloween costume at one point that Mickey wore, where Mickey was in a jack-o'-lantern. He's now
Is that this one?
That's the sipper.
Oh.
That's the Mickey jack-o'-lantern sipper. The popcorn bucket's Mickey Mouse in his jack-o'-lantern costume.
There's so many things.
So many things, and they're all super, super good.
That's not even talking about the foodie guide for the Oogie Boogie Bash.
That's true. There's a Ghost Mickey bottle topper, a zero light up straw clip, Mickey Mouse shaped pumpkin glow cube.
Yeah,
Vampire Tomater popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
So many good things, as well as some returning favorites like Minnie Sanderson.
But this time it lights up. Did it not light up last time?
I don't remember. I
think we were talking to the guy at whatever, and he was saying that it was lit up this year or something.
So many good things, and then all sorts of fancy foods and drinks just for Oogie Boogie Bash folks as well. Super, super, super fun. Oh, the Minnie Mouse Hocus Pocus Halloween dress-up sipper is only during Oogie Boogie Bash.
Ooh, well, that's good to know.
Fancy. Anyways, let us know what your favorites are, what things you're looking forward to, what things maybe you've tried and are like wins or not so much wins. Let us know.
Yeah. It's that time again when our friend Eric over at Concierge catches us up on other Disney news.
Hello, everyone. This is Eric Johnson with Concierge, and welcome to the D180. While Teg and Teresa cover all things Disneyland in the D180, we take a spin around the rest of the Disney universe, and boy howdy, is there a lot going on, and we do it in approximately 180 seconds. Let's jump right in. We begin our journey this week in Walt Disney World. You've probably heard a lot about the big changes announced during D23. Animal Kingdom gets a new land with a ride through Casita, and a certain professor who carries a whip and a gun gets his own take on a ride. Hollywood Studios builds the Monsters, Inc. coaster we have been waiting on for years, and the Magic Kingdom will drastically change Frontierland in ways we can barely comprehend at this point. Apparently, Epcot has endured enough changes. Test Track will become a new ride with the same sponsor. I assume it'll be fun, and I also assume we're getting a new Brazil pavilion, but that's a topic for another time. Whew! It's a lot going on. Maybe in the meantime, it's best to focus on the amenities of Walt Disney World resorts. Did you know that several resort hotels host yoga sessions every morning? Yes, completely separate from any Run Disney event, you can schedule some time for stretching in the Disney way at multiple Walt Disney World Resort hotels. If your family is staying at Saratoga Springs, the Grand Floridian, or the Boardwalk Inn, you have a bevy of methods to burn off those morning pre-park moments. Guests staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge can spend some time with ambassadors from various countries in Africa to learn about music and art in their respective countries. Those who want a more active trip can sign up for archery classes at the Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. The truly adventurous of your crew can also sign up for tours on horseback. There is so much to do in this area, I can't believe it. Still feeling that country vibe? Succumb to the call of more Disney experiences. You could take a day and try some fishing in one of several Disney resorts that are positioned on the water. Walt Disney World Resort hotels have so many options for fun outside of the parks. Watch a classic Disney movie under the stars, play bocce ball on the lawn, hurdle down water slides, or sun by the pool. Heck, you don't even need to go to a Walt Disney World park at all if you don't want to. I mean, I recommend going to a park, but come on. This is the vacation kingdom of the world after all. There are so many places you can go that really end up becoming one of the more relaxing experiences on your trip. I hope you enjoyed our quick spin around the rest of the Disney universe. If you would like to learn more about these Disney adventures, or you just have a few questions, please come on over. Visit the social media and websites of both DLWeekly and us, their official travel planners, concierge. We look forward to planning something special for you and yours. I'm Eric Johnson, and this has been your D180.
Thanks, Eric.
Your attention, please. DL Weekly Trivia is now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, with stops at New Orleans Square, Mickey's Toontown, and Tomorrowland. All weekly tiers for...
Welcome to Trivia Land, where we have some great listener-submitted questions all lined up for you. How are you feeling tonight?
Very confident. We're going to nail this. That's where I'm going with this.
I genuinely am feeling good because we just got back from being in the parks. We had a week off from Trivia Land. I'm feeling fresh.
Vern's going to be like,
fresh
we're going to
and
ask
ready.
you questions about the Disneyland Railroad, the monorail, all the stuff that was closed that you couldn't experience.
Well, of course, that's the only stuff. And we're going to go straight to Disney World for your first question.
Oh, my
I'm
goodness.
kidding. All right. Well, your first listener submitted question tonight from listener Suzanne W. In the movie Meet the Robinsons, one of the Disneyland's attractions can be seen in a scene. What attraction is it, and what does the sign next to it say?
Never seen this movie.
I think I saw it once, so I'm really not helpful.
Do we know what this movie was about? Was this an animated movie, a non-animated movie?
It was animated. It was like a computer animated movie, and it was about a kid that like goes to the future. So it could be in the, and he's like an inventor kid. Like the kid's an inventor.
Okay.
So it could be like in the present or in the future that they see.
I'm going to say Space Mountain, and I have no idea what the sign says.
I'm gonna say It's a Small World.
Oh, there you go. Do you know what the sign says?
No.
All right. So we've got Space Mountain and Small World and no idea about the sign. Final answers.
Yeah.
Final sad answers. Yes.
All right. Your second listener submitted question from listener Donna S. Where did Disneyland get the King Arthur carousel from?
Oh.
This was from like a circus or something like in Canada, wasn't it?
Was it
Or a park in
like
Canada?
a park? Yeah, it was a park. I don't think it was a circus. A park.
Was it in Canada? I don't know why Canada is sticking out to me.
I don't know. Perhaps because it's the right answer.
I'm going to say a park in Canada, Vern.
A park in Canada.
I'm gonna go.
Like some type of like amusement park.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like a park. And I guess I'm going to be a little bit smaller and just say in Northern California.
Northern California, okay.
All right. So we've got Canada, a park, and a park in Northern California. Final answers.
I think so.
All righty. Your third regular round question from listener Sarah M. According to a cast member, what is the official name of the ride vehicles on Winnie the Pooh?
Hang on.
We know this one.
I know. That's why I'm like, wait.
And according to the notes with this question, you know this cast member. Or
Yeah.
you know this contributor, at least.
Yeah.
I know that you're sticky stuck.
Well, you push over the bar to check if it's sticky
Yeah.
stuck.
You're sticky stuck. in
Somebody
them.
mentioned it to us when we were on it last.
Is it a...
It's got a cutesy name that
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not coming to my brain right now. Because they're honeycombs, aren't they?
Yeah, you're like in a hive. Like a beehive.
Mm-hmm.
A vehicle. That's what it is. It's a vehicle.
A vehicle?
Yeah, it's a vehicle.
I'm gonna stick into your honey on that one.
All right, vehicles. Final answer?
Yes, vehicle.
All righty. And your fourth and final regular round question from listener Sarah P. What company sponsored the People Mover at Disneyland and had its own VIP
Tag
lounge
written all
behind
over.
the Plaza Inn?
Wasn't it Goodyear?
wasn't
Yeah, because of the tires on the track.
Yep.
All right, so that's Goodyear. Final answer?
Goodyear.
Yeah.
All righty. And your bonus question tonight from listener Andy M. In the Haunted Mansion, after you leave the stretching room, you come upon an ever-changing portrait gallery. Can you describe each one? And for a bonus point, can you put them in order as you pass by them?
Okay, so we've got the mansion.
See, this is problematic because it's been over a year since we've been on the regular
I
version.
know. I think that's probably why Andy thought this was a good
and
time.
all
to
I
do it.
remember is there's
I
like
don't
a
know.
Sally one, and there's like I'm thinking.
you're thinking holiday.
Well, that's the only one I can remember right
I'm
now because
thinking,
that's the one
I'm
we've been
thinking
on.
OG. So there's the mansion where it like, right? Isn't the mansion in one of them?
Yes, isn't there a lady?
There's a lady
sitting.
like she's kind of splayed out on like a lounger.
Oh, on the Chase Lounge,
Yep,
yeah.
and she like turns into I think it's
Medusa.
a tiger. that's a separate one. There's a beautiful woman portrait that changes to Medusa.
Okay. I feel like you should know this, Teresa, being
there's the woman like
aficionado.
laying on the, I guess it's like a chaise lounge kind of thing. And I think she turns into like a tiger.
Okay.
I'm also
And the first one was the mansion?
I don't remember if we're in the right order or not.
Well, I'm not talking about the order. I was saying the first one you said was the mansion.
The first one I said was the mansion. So it's like
So
nice
what does
and
that
then
change? Oh, okay.
I think it's nice and then it's like daytime and nice and then like dingy.
So what's
and
the
dark.
fourth one there? Because there's 4, isn't there? I think there's 4.
Now you got, this is my problem is I keep thinking of like the holiday ones too. We've got April, December. That's the end. That's the one that's like as you turn around.
Yeah, but they're not talking about that part, I don't think. But
Well,
they
I'm
might
gonna
be.
put it in
So
there.
we'll put April, December.
We're just talking about immediately upon leaving
Yeah,
the stretching
yeah.
room
Not
and
as you
just the
go-
changing portraits.
So is the mansion the first one? I think the mansion's the first one.
Yeah.
And then I think where's the Medusa one? Is that the last one?
I can't think. I'm too busy trying to figure out what the one is that we're missing.
Okay. The problem
Isn't there? Oh, it's like a knight that then turns like to a skeleton. It's like a knight on a horse that then turns into like a skeleton.
Sure. I'll board your doom buggy on that one. The problem is I'm always so preoccupied with not running into people because it's kind of dark in there that I find myself not paying. And then the last couple times, like I was paying attention to looking through the window because like in the holiday version, there's the band out there. And we were looking to see if we could see something with the elevator the last time. And it's holiday version anyway because there's like a Sally and there's 0 flies between all 4 of them.
0 flies between them and changes them. And there's Jack in his Pumpkin King and Santa Claus one.
Isn't the little mountain thing one of them?
Oh, for Haunted Mansion Holiday?
Yeah. Anyway, but that's not the question.
Are we for sure there's 4, possibly 5 if we're talking around the corner? Okay.
I think there's 4.
Vern, will you give us that or no?
There are 5.
Oh, Jesus.
In the hallway?
In the hallway.
We're missing one.
When you just came out of the stretching room.
My goodness.
You're thinking of the right ones. The ones that, as the light flashes on them, you can see that they change to skeletal or zombie or...
See, I don't ever pay attention. I'm so drawn to, like, the 2 statues at the end that are staring at you.
I feel like a very, very bad Haunted Mansion fan right now.
When he gives us the answers, you're going to slap yourself.
Probably. We're just going to stick with the 5 we've got, because I'm going to hurt myself if I keep thinking.
Okay, so I've got the lady on the chaise, the knight, Medusa. What else did you say?
The mansion.
Mansion, and...
Well, we had April, November, but she's around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go in lady on the chaise,
April, December.
knight, mansion, and Medusa.
Yeah.
And April, December.
And April, December.
What did we say?
You said November just then, which is okay.
Okay, final
you
answer.
just made her a little younger is all.
Sure.
Final answers.
All right. Well, listeners, how do you think they did? How did you do listening at home? Stick around until after the discussion, and we can all find out together.
Make this new school year an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely, while parents keep an eye on kids' money habits. Greenlight also helps families get into their fall routine with a chores feature that lets parents assign chores and pay kids allowance when they check them off. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/pod. Greenlight.com/pod. Most weight loss plans are one size fits all, but Noom builds personal plans that meet your needs. Noom takes into account dietary restrictions, medical issues, and other personal needs to build a plan that works for you. Noom is built for your psychology and your biology. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain. But it also takes into account your unique biological factors, which also affect weight loss success. The program helps you understand the science behind your eating choices and why you have cravings. Everyone's journey is different, so your daily lessons are personalized to you and your goals. Noom helps you build new habits for a healthier lifestyle. To date, Noom has helped more than 5.2 million people lose weight. Noom's flexible program focuses on progress instead of perfection. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. That's Noom.com. And check out Noom's first ever cookbook, The Noom Kitchen, for 100 healthy and delicious recipes to promote better living. Available to buy now wherever books are sold. Individual results may vary. Visit our website at Noom.com for more information.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries plus napkins plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.
Well, for this week's discussion topic, we are continuing our wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time at D23, experiencing the ultimate fan event. We're going to talk about our final day at the weekend event, which was our final day at the expo, as well as the Legend ceremony at the Honda Center.
Next morning, we got there, and we had a couple things we wanted to see, and then we also wanted to try to hit up the show floor. So one of the things I did, one of the evenings we came back, was I looked at some YouTube videos to see some of the show floor things, because I was curious. They had really long lines. Was it worth going in, that stuff? And a couple of the experiences that looked really interesting was there was an Avatar experience, and there was a TVA experience. Now, spoiler alert, we never got into the TVA experience, although, dang it, we wish we did.
Yeah.
What did you hear this morning about this?
I think we may have had, first of all, we were talking with Weekly Tears at the meetup, and it looked really cool. It was a really immersive way for them to show costumes and stuff from the Marvel Universe in a unique way that didn't just make it feel like a museum.
Yeah.
You walked through TVA and you looked through time doors, and then you were able to see different costumes like Deadpool, Wolverine, whatever. But at the end, there was they're like, do you want to see this? Because it's kind of like a spoiler. At the end, there was an interactive rocket raccoon that, like Roz and Monsters Inc. or Turtle Talk with Crush, that sort of a thing where you got to interact with the character. And magic spoiler, I think we know the person that got to help bring Rocket alive.
And longtime listeners also know this person.
And longtime listeners and big Disneyland, DCA entertainment fans also know who this person is. I think Dylan, who was the genie in the Aladdin show that was at the Hyperion for forever, that we loved and adored, who also was very kind and generous and was a guest on DL Weekly. I believe Dylan got to bring Rocket Raccoon to life through some stuff that I saw posted on social media, and I just was like, dang it, that would have been so cool to have gone through. But I understand why the line was crazy long all the time for this, why the demand was so high, because it looked like an insane, incredible experience. Cherry on top, of course, interacting with Rocket at the end.
I'm sad because I love Rocket, and I think that would have been amazing. But in the video that I saw, because I think it was a spoiler, I think that was such a unique part of it that they kind of didn't put, I don't know.
Sure.
It wasn't in what I saw. But we did get to experience the Avatar experience, which was
cool.
Super immersive. The lighting and stuff was great. They had some screens, but also some physical props. They had some music. They had smoke effects and black lights and
all sorts of you were definitely immersed into the world of Pandora.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had one of the giant.
I don't know. He looked scary. Whatever that thing was. I'm not a big I don't know a ton about all of the different things of Avatar and Pandora, so I don't know the names of some of the different creatures. But yeah, there were some kind of scary looking creatures that were in there.
They did have a dedication to John Landau, who just about a month ago, when we're recording this, had passed away. And the plaque that they had in there said, "The people say we live in Awa, and Awa lives in us. The great mother holds all her children in her heart," dedicated to our producer, John Landau. So that was a really touching thing that they added last minute. But yeah, really cool.
Oh, it was a Banshee.
That's Banshee, thank you.
There was a Banshee in there. Very, very cool. Next up, we went and experienced the Descendants little walk-through pavilion, which was, again, very fun, very immersive. There was a Roses room, because it's the Rise of Red. It was The walls were covered in roses. It smelled like roses in there. You kind of got through this like fun little like wonderground tunnel and like this cool black light lit themed area with all this fun graffiti. There was an interactive video thing that you could do that basically they took a video of you jamming out to the songs from Descendants. It was a very hoppin', very popular experience, and it was really fun. It was small but mighty is what it was, because it wasn't a very big footprint on the show floor, where there's a lot going on and a lot of people wanted to check it out.
So the next thing we went to the cruise pavilion, and it was really cool. We got really lucky because they were rotating characters out.
We got crazy lucky with this.
And so Donald was out, and then right as we were getting to the front of the line, the big draw that everybody wanted to see was Minnie in her new costume, and Minnie Mouse swapped in.
There she was.
Also, one of the favorite things was what was in the beginning that you got to take photos with.
They had a little like mock-up, a little like tribute to what will be the Haunted Mansion parlor, which is the Haunted Mansion themed bar, coming to a couple of new cruise ships now. And it looks so, so cool. So, of course, I had to get my picture taken. I had to take all the photos of this little display because it's the closest I'm going to get for now to actually experiencing the parlor. But it looks very, very cool.
Minnie's outfit looked really great, too. So that'll be debuting with the Treasure in December, I believe. So that's going to be really exciting. And then right as we exited, we were meeting up with a friend and listener of ours in line who was going to go in and experience this. And who should walk by?
None other than Josh D'Amaro. So we got 2 Josh D'Amaro sightings during the expo, plus a bonus one in the parks.
But we could have touched him this time.
Yeah, each time he was very busy and like had people with him. So he was a man on a mission. So I did congratulate him on having a wonderful presentation on the parks panel, and said that we were very excited as he walked by. But yeah, it was very, very exciting. So we still do not have a photo with Josh D'Amaro. It'll happen someday, I know. But yeah. It was just wild because we've not, like, I don't think we've ever been in the right place at the right time to see Josh D'Amaro, and it's the third time that weekend, so it's just wild.
Yeah.
You just never know. That's the cool thing about the expos. You just never know who you're going to bump into on the show floor.
And some of our people, like our friends that were in the park, they had all types of photos of famous people because they just happened to bump into them on the show floor. So keep your eyes open. Teresa and I both kind of went back and forth on being really observant. There were days where I wasn't seeing anything and Teresa was seeing everything, and I think there was a couple times that I saw some things. So you just got to be really aware, and there's so much going on that you can be looking at, and so much stimulation it's hard to like see specific things. We did the Sherman.
This was
Richard
beautiful. So they meaning D23, put together Jolly Holiday D23 Musical Celebration of Richard Sherman. And as you all know, we did lose Richard this past May. So this was just beautiful because they had people that knew Richard. His son was there, his niece was there and actually sang a song. The original Mary Poppins on Broadway was there talking about her memories of working with Richard. And then a lot of people that I wouldn't have necessarily thought they would have had invited to this panel to share their memories of working with Richard were there. Don Hahn was there. He did a documentary type thing with Ashley Brown, who was the original Mary Poppins on Broadway, and of course Richard Sherman. So Don Hahn was there kind of moderating. Floyd Norman was there sharing some of his memories, as was Tony Baxter and Kevin Feige, which was really, really amazing.
Yeah, now Kevin Feige connected to the thing we talked about before because they did the they did the World's Fair stuff, so that's why he was there, because they talked about that, and they actually showed a clip, the same clip that they showed in that other panel as well, which was fantastic. By the way, of course, unsurprisingly to anybody who knows anybody, Ashley Brown had an amazing voice. She sung some
incredible
stuff, very powerful. Darren Criss came out and sung for a little bit.
With John Stamos. So it was John Stamos on the drums. John Stamos was the official host of the celebration. So John Stamos came out and was on drums. Darren Criss came out with guitar and sang I Want to Be Like You from the Jungle Book, of course, awesome. Another Sherman Brothers song. Just incredible.
So this was kind of like a bunch of little mini panels, actually. It was kind of fun. So Leonard Maltin came out with his daughter and they talked about their memories. And then they invited out Haley Mills and they sang the song Let's Get Together, which was from the 1961 version of The Parent Trap. And that was also amazing because the fact that she sung it so many years later and stuff was just fantastic.
Also, Leslie Ann Warren came out and sang with Haley Mills, but both of them had worked with Richard on various film projects, and so they were sharing their memories too. But it was really fun. Never did I know that I was going to be able to experience Haley Mills singing Let's Get Together. So that was super, super fun. But just overall, a very beautiful, very moving, very touching tribute to Richard Sherman. The thing that really got me was they were talking about how the Walt Disney Archives actually has some sort of technology that they can record keystrokes on a piano. So they had Richard come in some time ago, I don't know when this happened, and they had him play, and so they actually have recordings of his keystrokes, and I didn't quite catch if the piano that was on the stage was a player piano or if it was a recording of Richard playing. But they did say that the music that we walked into and the music that we were leaving from was Richard's playing. I think it was like a player piano type thing, so which too. Just was really I don't know, for some reason that just really hit me oh my gosh, well, Richard's here, Richard's playing kind of thing. It was just incredible.
And they played this little video, I believe, of was it Richard talking about?
We had seen this. It's him in Walt's office sitting at the piano, just kind of reflecting on his life and his legacy and his career. I had seen this shared on social media by the Walt Disney Company shortly after Richard had passed, and it's gorgeously done. Yeah.
What got me was they're all on stage looking at this while it's playing, and at the end, John Stamos, who's hosting, turned around and you could tell he was had been crying quite a bit from that. There was not a dry eye in that. Yeah, it was very touching.
Arena, I don't think. It was very touching, very moving, very beautiful.
I'm so glad we waited for it, which you called it from the beginning that was going to be a good one, and there it was.
After that, we just kind of explored the show floor again. That's actually when we bumped into all of the Fortnite Wolverine bananas. Which there were a lot of them. But then we decided really, we didn't have too much time because the Honda Center event for the Legends panel started 2 hours earlier than it had the previous day. So we wanted to make sure that we got kind of picked out what our must-dos before we leave the show floor tonight, because it's our last couple of hours. So
we needed 5 more hours, spoiler alert.
We called it. Everybody called it. We headed back to the Imagineering Pavilion to go explore and chat with more Imagineers. We were very fortunate. We got to spend some time.
Mark Twain does not want you to talk.
No. We got to spend some time chatting with Lanny Smoot about all of his amazing and brilliant creations. It was just mesmerizing to watch the holotiles in action. We stood there for quite a long time, just kind of watching the demonstrations and displays and hearing about how each little individual tile moves and how the whole thing, the baseline of how the whole thing works. It was just insanely cool.
Yeah. And he was awesome. We were listening to him talk to some other people who were asking him some stuff. We got a photo with him.
We talked with an Imagineer that his focus is on animatronics. He's the one that told us that he has seen, he didn't say he had worked on it, but he's at least seen the Walt figure and was just blown away. The thing that was also fascinating is a lot of people have been sharing photos of the Elsa bust that's singing, and then there's some animatronic arms. He was giving us a little bit more of a peek behind the magic, and because we're nerds, showing us oh, you see this giant tower that's behind the arms? That's what controls and powers it, which blew my mind to see it. You know that there's all of this stuff, but to actually physically see the space that one piece of an animatronic needs to be able to operate was just...
I'm just thinking about Tiana's Bio Adventure with all the animatronics. Where do they put all that?
That's what I was thinking too. Where do they put all this stuff?
And working in IT, it was like an IT rack that obviously has to be kept cool, so you have to also have air. Yeah, it's an amazing feat what they do there. The other thing we looked at in this area was we looked at there was a section that was based on all the illusions. So they had a really cool disc thing that's actually going to show up in Tiana's Bio Adventure that's going to look like fireflies at night. They had a proof of concept box that was showing the transformation of the Beast from the Beauty and the Beast attraction.
I still don't understand that.
Me either.
It's so incredible.
They had a really neat wall that they had this projection through that it was kind of like an updated Pepper's Ghost almost, but it made it feel like the thing was 3D, but I don't know. It was really neat looking and kind of like messed with my mind.
Yeah. There was I don't know if you even saw this. There was a 3D effect that you could experience without 3D glasses that they had. And of course I got all excited because one of the little characters they had to like show off this was Figment. So that was very fun. They were showing like how they like little mock-ups of proof of concept of animating stuff that's like in like underwater and like the underwater projections, I guess would be a good way of saying that. Yeah, just incredible. So that's how we ended our show floor experience.
The one thing we didn't get to see because the line was outrageous, as you would expect, is they had 2 reveal rooms, they called them, that were not open on the first 2 days of the expo because obviously things had not been revealed at the experiences panel. And of course the line for those were ridiculous. So we did peek kind of literally behind the curtain to kind of look at it, but we did not actually get to go experience it. But they had the model for where they're going to put the Lion King attraction. They did have a model of, or some conceptual like 3D stuff for Avatar, but nothing like built out that's like a final form. So that stuff was kind of neat. And Teresa said earlier there was like a Kevin carved, the first one that they had finished carving for that carousel that's going in Animal Kingdom. So
very
then
incredible.
We headed over to the expo again.
We did. Headed up. We ate lunch and then headed over, a later lunch, and headed over to the expo. So for me, I'm just going to bury the lead. For me, of the 3 panels, this was probably the least like edge of your seat exciting panel because they presented the Legend ceremony very much as like an award show. It felt like we were like at the Oscars, but just not, dressed like we should have been attending the Oscars. But it was very well done. I really liked, we were talking about this, that before each person was presented the award, they had these little montage videos of people that knew the person that were talking about them, but then they also kind of like showcased and explained their career and their legacy and kind of how and why they got to this point and why they're being named a Disney legend. Some of the people, of course, we understood totally, like, oh, well, of course Joe Rohde's going to be a Disney legend, but
of course people, John Williams.
Yeah. So, but, other people, maybe we don't understand the whole reasoning behind it. So that was really, I appreciated that because there was stuff that I learned through watching those little montages that I didn't know before. An unexpected highlight for me was Jamie Lee Curtis talking about her early memories of being in a Disney park and how her first attraction, Disneyland was her first park, and how her favorite attraction when she was a kid was the Carousel of Progress.
Yeah.
And along with Jamie, the entire arena sang "It's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow," which was like beautiful, and it didn't help that we had just been at the Jolly Holiday panel. So I thought it was really touching and really moving.
Yeah.
That was like an unexpected highlight.
I agree. I will say that I enjoyed, I'm never going to go to like an Oscars with famous people like this. So the fact that I felt like we were given a glimpse of what that would be like, I thought was really cool and I really enjoyed it. From a nerdy standpoint, I thought the graphics packages that they had for all of these were really gorgeous. Obviously, it was just like a screen, but the way they animated it, it looked like pixie dust and glitter. It was just amazing. They did such a fantastic job.
You know what I just realized? This had to have been because all of the legends, I was really surprised. They all seemed very taken aback by the time they got up to the stage and kind of turned around and saw the audience. Of course, it was a massive, massive audience, but these are, some of them superstar crazy famous people. Miley Cyrus was there. She sold out to giant venues and has performed in front of millions, So it was just wild to me. It just kind of dawned on me as we were talking about this, though. A lot of who attend the Oscars are other famous people. This may be one of the only events that the audience is built up of just fans.
Sure.
And so that had to have been pretty wild, especially when you're somebody like a movie, a star of screen.
Yeah.
You're not face to face with your audiences you would if you were a rock star or something. That had to have been because all of them were just very taken aback when they got up front and saw the standing ovations and saw the people cheering and screaming. And I was a little thinking some of them would be used to that. Others I understood, like Martha Blanding, who she worked in the parks, so being in front of an audience of 12 to 13,000 people, that's just not something that she had experienced before, to have 12 to 13,000 people all cheering for her. So I told that would be me too. I'd be They all did a really great job, though. I was surprised that, like, I don't know. I always think about if I was in their shoes, like, how daunting and how amazing and how, like, emotional it would be to be on stage to, you know, accept an award like that. So it was wild. It was very, very cool. Very special.
It started off very unexpected for me because the first legend that they inducted was Harrison Ford. Mm-hmm. And I've seen Harrison Ford in a lot of, like, you know, late night talk show interviews and stuff. And a lot of times he comes off as very kind of like, you know, he's been involved with Star Wars since forever. And so, like, you know, sometimes he comes off that he's kind of like over it or like wants his life is more than Star Wars, basically. Yeah. And so I think sometimes he gets tired of talking about it. So I was kind of expecting that kind of attitude from him becoming a legend, that he would just be kind of like, he'd be appreciative. But anyway, he like teared up, like you could hear it in his voice. Yeah. And I was very shocked by that he was so taken. And he got, of course it was the beginning, so we didn't know what to expect later either, but he got quite the standing ovation for quite a while from everybody. So I think that kind of maybe surprised him. Yeah. And because he was the first and didn't know what to expect, like the outpouring of support was really great. And to go back to what you were saying about like Miley Cyrus, did she see it? She said during her speech, she's like, wasn't it Miley Cyrus that had like, she's like, I had this one in case I was really nervous, or this one if I thought I was good. And I'm like, to go what you're saying, she's had sold out concerts before. And she's still nervous and had like 2 different speeches. So that was kind of cool to see all of that. And we forget, I think, sometimes as fans that these people that we consider celebrities are just people, that this is just what they do for a living. And that just because we perceive them as always being really comfortable in front of a lot of people and having all this confidence, that's not always the case. And so it's nice to see the like personal side of them. Yes. One of the famous sayings people say is, you know, they put their pants on one leg at a time like everyone else. So that was really cool.
It was incredible. So this is the third Legends ceremony that we have been fortunate enough to attend, and this one had the best attendance from the Legends themselves. The only person that was unable to attend was John Williams, which, I mean, John Williams he's getting up there in age. I totally understand, you know, something happened, something came up, he wasn't able to attend. But in years past, I want to say it was probably like 3 to 5 of the Legends were unable to attend for one reason or another. So I was I was amazed that so many of them were able to be there in person to accept this really amazing honor.
One of the best parts of the night for me, and I think she totally deserved was Martha Blanding's introduction had the Dapper Dan singing. The Disneyland band came out. Mickey and Minnie came out. Like, it was an entire production. And you know what? For somebody who isn't like a superstar, you know, hasn't been selling out concerts or, you know, movie theaters or whatever, I thought this was really great that they gave her the pomp and circumstance of like this great production to go along with her great honor. Her speech was also very touching because apparently her and her sister are very close.
They're twins.
Oh, okay, yeah, so they're twins, but they like talked a lot, and so she was joking that her and her sister were like, oh, we got we're legends now.
The joke was Martha would talk about her job so much that her sister would be like, with how much you talk about it, I feel like I work there too. So then it just kind of became this just kind of became this like we type thing. So then at the end it was very sweet. She's like, we did it, we're Disney legends. But she's incredible. That's the other thing that I love about this, is that you get to learn about these incredible people and their amazing stories. Yeah, just amazing. We will try and share this, but if we don't, please go to the Disney Parks social medias. They did little profiles of each of the legends to kind of introduce you to who they are and like why they're so incredible and amazing. So please, if you have time, I would highly recommend to go through and watch those. Maybe if they're people that you're not as familiar with their work, go through and watch them, because they did a really great job kind of compiling their career and their importance to the Disney company and legacy.
And even better, this is on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right.
So
I forgot about that.
I don't know if they edited it down at all or not, but I would highly recommend. I know that when we get home, I'm probably going to turn this on at one point just to kind of see what the production was like. But I would highly recommend go checking this out because you'll see all these little clips about them. You'll get to see the Dapper Dans and the band and everything.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. The showstopper for me, because we had been at this venue, now the third night, was when they honored John Williams. The massive screen in the middle opened up, and there was an entire symphony orchestra that played a melody that was put together by John Williams.
The stage was 2 levels, and we didn't even know it was 2 levels until this moment. This was a big, grand reveal. No expense spared for this, and the fact that they did this for just that one moment where they could have been utilizing that space for other things during the other presentations is just wildly insane to me. It's just wow, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Every single person that got up and accepted this honor talked about how they couldn't have done it without everybody else that worked around them. So I thought that was really...
That's true.
Grounded and fascinating that all of these people that have just won this great honor or got nominated for this great honor and received it credited other people. Mm-hmm. Nobody went up there and said, yes, I did this myself. All of them, even people that you've known for years and years, all of them said it was a team of people. We couldn't do it. So the people who make movies, it was about the crew and directors and everything. So I mentioned that to Teresa during the presentation. I said, it's really cool that all of them are so humble that they know it's not just themselves.
Yep. And Joe Rohde even said we do not do these things setting out to become Disney legends. It's you are the ones that end up making us into legends. You help mold and form and shape us into the legends that you see or something. It was amazing. But he was like, he even was kind of, I think he was a little embarrassed about stuff. He's like, there's things that people always credit me for. He's like, but it wasn't just me. It was me and this amazing team of other creatives that brought these things to life. So I think he was a little embarrassed because everyone's like, oh yeah, Joe Rohde, he did Animal Kingdom. And he's probably like, oh no, if I did Animal Kingdom, you wouldn't have seen Animal Kingdom for 100 years because it would take me, myself, and I. It's a huge, vast team of people. So he was very, and we understand that. We're parks people, but people maybe that aren't as familiar with parks just kind of know single names and don't maybe think of the army of other people that help bring these things to life, whether it's park experiences, movies, concerts, even television shows, whatever it is. It's not just the individuals. But you know what? There's a reason they're a legend. They stood out in their field, and that's why they're being honored with this great, amazing award.
Well, that wraps up our D23 Ultimate Fan event.
Would you like to support the show as a one-time payment? Well, you can buy us a churro. Head on over to dlweekly.net/churro to support us with one of these sweet, tasty treats. Thank you to all of our listeners who have supported the show in any way possible, including listening.
It's okay. I'll be the only weekly tier without an answer. Make sure you send your questions to Producer James or Producer Vern at trivia@DLWeekly.net.
Welcome back to Trivia Land, where we're going to find out the answers to tonight's questions, see how many Teresa and Tag got right, and find out everything there is to know about this round of trivia.
Sure.
Yes. I had somewhere I was going with that, and then I lost it. So, let's see how you did. How are you feeling about how you did?
Awesome. Amazing.
Yeah?
Sorry, I forgot. We're supposed to be positive.
Woo!
Yes, positivity all the way. Upbeat and optimistic. All right. Well, your first listener-submitted question tonight from listener Suzanne W. In the movie Meet the Robinsons, one of the Disneyland attractions can be seen in a scene. What attraction is it, and what does the sign next to it say? Tag said Space Mountain, and didn't know what the sign was. And Teresa said Small World, and again, no guess on the sign. The correct answer that I was looking for was Space Mountain, but it's in Todayland, because Meet the Robinsons is set in the future.
Sure. Todayland. Love it.
Your second regular round question from listener Donna S. Where did Disneyland get the King Arthur carousel from? Teg said a park in Canada, and Teresa said a park in Northern California.
I feel like it might be a park from Germany now, but I don't know. Anyway.
The correct answer I was looking for was Sunnyside Beach Park in Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
Nice.
Good job, Teg.
Fire.
It's that positivity, I tell you. You just got to be positive.
Upbeat, optimistic positivity.
Yeah, when we're like, I don't know, it seems like we don't do as well.
Your third listener-submitted question from listener Sarah M. According to a cast member, what is the official name of the ride vehicles on Winnie the Pooh? Teresa came up with vehicles, and Teg stuck himself to that. The correct answer that I was looking for was vehicles.
Yay.
Good job, Teresa.
Well done there. And your fourth and final regular round question submitted by listener Sarah P. What company sponsored the People Mover at Disneyland and had its own VIP lounge behind the Plaza Inn? Teg came up with Goodyear. And the correct answer that I was looking for was Goodyear.
Woo! It was a good year that the People Mover came. It was a bad year when they got rid of it.
A note on that, Ford sponsored the People Mover at the World's Fair, but they declined to be the sponsor at Disneyland.
Yeah. It was the Ford Magic Skyway at the 64-65 World's Fair, and that technology then became the People Mover. Which gets really confusing because the Skyway was the bucket attraction. Yeah. But anyway, one of the original Ford Mustangs was at the D23 fan event in the archives exhibit of the vehicles. It was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Which we learned in a panel that they took the engines out.
Yep, they took the engines out, and actually they also told us that Ford sold most of them. They put them back in, put them back together and sold the Mustangs afterwards, except for apparently at least one.
Yeah.
And your bonus question tonight from listener Andy M. After you leave the stretching room in the Haunted Mansion, you come upon an ever-changing portrait gallery. Can you describe each one, and for a bonus point, can you put them in the order you pass by them? You said a lady on a chaise, a knight, the mansion, Medusa, and April-December. The correct answer that I was looking for: a lady on a chaise who turns into a panther, a knight on horseback and they both turn skeletal, Master Gracie turning into a zombie, a ship that turns into a ghostly wrecked ship,
fake fan,
and a lady who turns into Medusa.
Well, we were just over half right.
Yep, you did pretty well there, really.
Yeah, poor us for getting Master Gracie.
I can't believe we forgot Master Gracie. That's terrible.
Of those...
And, as soon as you said the ship, I'm like, oh, yes, 100%. It's been a long time since we got to experience the...
regular.
OG mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? The mansion is one of the changing portraits in Haunted Mansion Holiday.
So that's where you got that from.
Because it changes from the mansion to the holiday version. I was getting twisted around in my brain.
Dang it.
Oh, wow. Still pretty good.
Well, listeners, how do you feel about how they did? How do you feel about how you did listening at home? Do you think you've got that perfect question that can really stump them next time? Well, if you've got that perfect question and you'd like to hear it asked on the air, feel free to send that to us at dlweekly.net/trivia.
Well, we will be back next week with more Disneyland news and information.
Until then, go out and enjoy the parks.
And a special thank you to Sidel for editing this podcast.
Please remain seated until the podcast comes to a complete stop and the doors have opened. Then collect your belongings, watch your head, and step carefully from the episode. On behalf of all of our crew, thanks for traveling with us, and we hope you have a happy and memorable visit here at DL Weekly.
Walmart Plus members save on meeting up with friends. Save on having them over for dinner with free delivery with no hidden fees or markups. That's groceries, plus napkins, plus that vegetable chopper to make things a bit easier. Plus, members save on gas to go meet them in their neck of the woods. Plus, when you're ready for the ultimate sign of friendship, start a show together with your included Paramount Plus subscription. Walmart Plus members save on this plus so much more. Start a 30-day free trial at walmartplus.com. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. See Walmart Plus terms and conditions.